want to know, cause you're spending your dough. What have you got to show for the smoke that you blow? I'm teaching a lesson.
Coming up today on the Indie Wave, he's a man with a positive message and a talent for giving that message a steady backbeat and a Caribbean flavor. Today on the Indie Wave, we speak to the author of the number 36 Glacier FM hit, Jah Jah Jehovah, Alfred Lloyd. So it's now time to tune in and ride the Indie Wave.
To get the best jacket your money can buy. I'm teaching a lesson, me not brag, not show up. Cannot give my blessing to what's making you come. I really want to know.
The Indie Wave Podcast with That Sailing Guy. That Sailing Guy, also known as Christopher German. In partnership with Glacier FM and broadcasting from the birthplace of grunge, Aberdeen, Washington. Welcome to the Indie Wave Podcast. Welcome to the Indie Wave Podcast. I'm your host, That Sailing Guy. If you've caught my Spotify playlists, you know I have a penchant for reggae and a passion for great music. I have Bob Marley, Toots, and the Maytals, Peter Tosh, and the Specials all over my streaming players. And I just may need to add a new one to the mix because this week's guest is all about love, communication, praise, and worship, and being a positive influence on the younger generation. His hit, Jah Jah Jehovah, rocketed up the Glacier FM Top 50, and he has garnered a few thousand downloads and views on Spotify and YouTube. I even sent a personal message over to the night nurse over there in his home state of North Carolina because I think this man deserves to be heard among the greats of reggae, if not just for the fact that he is building community and inspiring hope through his music. The man is Alfred Lloyd, who hails from Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina, but was born in Manchester, Jamaica, where he was influenced by the likes of Bob Marley, Dennis Brown, and Gregory Isaacs. And like the greats of reggae, Alfred Lloyd has a mission with his music to inspire, enlighten, and echo the message that there is one love for all of us. Now, I am pleased to present the song that got him on the Glacier FM Top 50, Jah Jah Jehovah, followed by an exclusive interview I shot with Mr. Alfred Lloyd. So, without further ado, here he is, Alfred Lloyd with Jah Jah Jehovah.
I am Jah Jah Jehovah. I'm the king who no man can conquer. Jah Jah Jehovah. I'm the king who is ruling forever. Jah Jah Jehovah. I'm the king who no man can conquer. Jah Jah Jehovah. I'm the king who is ruling forever. I'm not coming to last because you insulted me. Rastafari gonna tell you what the future will be. I am God Jehovah, the Almighty. One tell him from the beginning, the finality. I am Jah Jah Jehovah. I'm the king who no man can conquer. Jah Jah Jehovah. I'm the king who is ruling forever. Jah Jah Jehovah. I'm the king who no man can conquer. Jah Jah Jehovah. I'm the king who is ruling forever. Where was the last when I founded the earth? Back in the beginning, tell me when was his birth? Who created the people who live in between? Man, you are living a futile dream. I am Jah Jah Jehovah. I'm the king who no man can conquer. Jah Jah Jehovah. I'm the king who is ruling forever. Jah Jah Jehovah. I'm the king who no man can conquer. Jah Jah Jehovah.
We have this amazing man today. He's been doing this since 1989. He's number 36 on the Glacier FM charts as of the recording of this date. And I absolutely love his music. I'm a big fan of reggae, as you might know from me. But this guy grew up in Jamaica. He's had the inspirations of such as Bob Marley. He's been doing all kinds of good stuff for a very, very long time now. And his music is so positive. It is so heartwarming. It is so uplifting. And quite frankly, I can't give it any more justice than the man can himself. Alfred Lloyd, talk to me, put your face on this screen, and let's talk about your music a little bit.
Thank you, man.
Excellent, excellent. So right now you're number 36 on the Glacier FM charts. Your song is Ja Ja Jehovah. Tell me about that song. Tell me about how you got involved with Glacier FM. Tell me about your music career. Tell me, I want to know it all. Tell me everything.
Well, Jehovah was inspired. It was the easiest song I've ever written.
Oh, really?
And if you check it, it all makes sense from beginning to end. It
Well,
just flowed.
Well, quite frankly, the way that you deliver that song too, it really just flows. You don't realize you're getting a song of worship necessarily, but you just get jazzed by this wonderful beat. You get jazzed by this wonderful tune, and it just makes you feel good. And you're getting your vegetables while you're getting your meat and potatoes as well. So it's an all around good song.
It's interesting because when we're in the studio recording that song, it was like a one take from beginning to end.
Really?
At the end of it, I had to say to the producer, let's do another take for insurance. Just make sure if there was any flaws in the first recording, he could correct it in the mixing. But it was one take.
One take. Flowed. Wow. That's amazing.
I must say that I'm very satisfied with what I'm hearing. I just had it remixed. I sent you guys a copy of the latest version of it, but I love that song.
Well, I love it too, and so do the listeners over at Glacier FM, because you're up at number 36 on the Glacier FM charts. You're pushing it all over the good place. You've got a phenomenal following. You're up to over 500 subscribers on YouTube. You got somewhere north of, I think, 1 to 200 daily listeners on Spotify. You're doing it, man. So tell me about your indie career. How you started in 1989. What got you into music, and where have you been?
Actually, I started writing a way back. My first song, I just said, was recorded in 1989 for a producer named Gussie Clark back in Jamaica. He's a pretty neat guy. He is not afraid to give a new songwriter or an artist a break, which is more than what I can say for the average producer in Jamaica.
Yeah.
So I respect that in him. But I moved to the US in 1990 and I lost the contact that I had with Gussie.
Okay.
So it was a case where not many recording producers or studios I was in Connecticut at the time, were familiar with reggae. So I started to look around to see who I could work with. I was brought by a friend to this guy. His name is Ifield. He was in Hartford, Connecticut at the time, and I formed an association with him. We did some recording, but to be honest with you, as an individual, I was just starting out and I did not do a lot of promotion with the song. Pretty great songs. It's a CD which I will revisit later on. It's called Let's Talk.
Okay.
You should check it out.
Well, I have checked out Let's Talk, actually, and that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about. I also checked out Dear Carol, and I checked about What You Have to Get to Show, and I've checked out a whole bunch of your clips. And quite frankly, that's one of the things that I like so much about your work is it's very uplifting work, and it's got a great message.
Yeah, well, there's so much that you can write about. And it does not have to be sex, drugs, alcohol, parties, girls, stuff like that.
Yeah.
There are a lot of positive messages. As writers and entertainers, I think we have in our hands the power to influence people. And it should be a positive message whenever we touch the paper or get in front of the microphone. So for that reason, I write positive things that will influence other persons. There's a track which is coming out on the 1st of November. It's called Break the Cycle or Die Broke. Spotify has already gave me a pitching opportunity with that song. We hope to release it simultaneously with a video, which will impress on the listeners exactly what we're talking about. The need to diversify or not to focus entirely on the 9 to 5, because to work for 40 years for somebody else to retire on a pension is not the way to go.
Yeah.
And it's a song which is, I hope, will heighten awareness to the fact that we have to break that cycle. Otherwise, we're going to end up where most people end up, at retirement broke. We can't change it when we get to 65. So the message is in the music.
Well, when that song is ready, I want to get you back on this show, because I want to premiere that song for you, because I really like what you do with your work.
I'd appreciate it. Thanks for the expo. But
excellent.
There are other songs which we have, and the thing that I pride myself on is the fact that I'm able to deliver a message, usually a strong message. I'm able to tie my thoughts together to stay focused on the theme of the song, while at the same time bringing about a rhyme which lends to a good hearing experience for my audience. At this time, we're focusing on promotion, and so we're getting the word out. The song is getting a lot of play and press internationally: Brazil, Mexico, Italy, Sweden. We're getting a lot of feedback, and the video is performing well. It is the best performing video I've had since I've been making them. I was led to a guy who is, for all, I can't say enough about his work. He's great.
Yeah.
He knows how to interpret my songs and to bring about the visuals, which makes it entertaining.
Well, what are you doing for? I'm glad you brought up a promotion. What are you doing? Apparently you're in Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina right now. We share actually a little bit of rootage, because I just came from Beaufort, North Carolina, before I moved out west here to Washington State. And so you're in a kind of a remote part of North Carolina. Where are you getting around? Are you playing shows? Are you wandering you're out in Raleigh? Are you going out there to promote your shows? What are you doing?
Actually, I'm not active on the stage right now.
Okay.
I have not done a live show in a long time.
Okay.
That's gonna change soon, because with the popularity of Jaja Jehovah, I'm pretty confident that I'll be invited to perform on shows. In my take on live performances, that people don't want to hear you unless they can relate to the songs that you've already played. They have to be hearing you on the radio before they will want to come out and see you live. So I'm getting the word out. The following on Spotify is encouraging. The song Jaja, who, as I said, I was not promoting my art before, but the song Jaja Jehovah, within the first month of its release, it had outperformed everything else that I have ever released on Spotify, just from listenership, and that was without any promotion. So we're getting it out on a lot of playlists. And as I said, it has been aired in a lot of countries. I have seen write-ups. I don't understand the language. I just see my face and a copy, image of the video, and I know, okay, that's pre-press. So the word is getting out there, and it's encouraging.
There's a show that gets aired out of Wilmington, North Carolina, called the Night Nurse, and she does all kinds of reggae. And I'm going to forward this episode to her, and I'm going to get her to play your song on her show, because I think the fact that you're both in North Carolina and the fact that this is such positive music that she needs to play it, and I'm going to do what I can to promote you as well.
I appreciate that.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to start playing a song now, because I've already played Jaja Rule and or Jaja Jehovah, I should say. Tell me about this. Would you mind if I played Dear Carol as our follow-up clip to this interview?
You could play that.
All right. Well, then, without further ado, Here is Alfred Lloyd with his tune, Dear Carol.
I just feel like he's been advertising this thing to me for a little while now. And baby, it's
So I got something I want you to check out.
Yeah?
So this is something I've been working on. This is my next big thing.
What's this about?
This is my new CD.
This is this guy.
This is the new CD.
Are you investing in this guy? This is where
Absolutely.
$2,000 for the rent one?
Absolutely.
The rent is
This
due,
guy's the
and
next- this guy's the
today
next big
today
thing.
is the 4th
I
of the
got big
month.
promises.
The
This
rent
guy's
was
got a
due
big show. He's got
yesterday.
all this big
Today
show.
is the 4th of the month. The rent was due
That's
yesterday.
okay. I'll
This
get
is
the
where
money
my
from
rent.
this show, baby. It's got a big show.
How many
going
of these do you need to sell in order to
I
get?
just gotta book the show and then support for
Book
everything.
what show?
You
Book
never-
what show? I need money for the rent.
How come you never support
I
me? What are you
need
doing,
money for
throwing
the
everything
rent. I
around,
need money
baby?
for the rent.
Oh, you
I
gotta be
need
kidding
money
me,
for the
man.
rent.
Never support me in anything I do. Anything I do.
Walk away. Yeah, that's what you do.
Never.
Walk away.
Never support
Walk away.
me. Man, it's never. Woman never supports me in anything I do. Never supports me. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. This guy, she never listens to this music. This guy's gonna bring music. This guy's gonna be a big star. Huge star.
Dear Carl, guess you didn't think I'd make it. Dear Carl, or do you wanna help celebrate it? Dear Carl, guess you didn't think I'd make it. Dear Carl, or do you wanna help celebrate it? This destiny, it was always mine, and it will be till the end of time. It was more than a dream, it's a vision I saw. Some things that fill me with awe. Dear Carl, guess you didn't think I'd make it. Dear Carl, or do you wanna help celebrate it? Dear Carl, guess you didn't think I'd make it. Dear Carl, or do you wanna help celebrate it? I choose to persevere when another would quit. You tried to discourage me to the limit. I was toiling away at this bit by bit, cause I knew one day I'd be making a hit. Dear Carl, guess you didn't think I'd make it. Dear Carl, or do you wanna help celebrate it? Dear Carl, guess you didn't think I'd make it. Dear Carl, or do you wanna help celebrate it? You was the love of my life, you're the one I did choose. That you make a good wife, but you quickly refuse. Won't dwell on the past, it's a brand new day. And finally all my bills I can pay. Dear Carl, guess you didn't think I'd make it. Dear Carl, or do you wanna help celebrate it? Dear Carl, guess you didn't think I'd make it. Dear Carl, or do you wanna help celebrate it? This destiny, it was always mine, and it will be till the end of time. It was more than a dream, it's a vision I saw. Some things that fill me with awe. Dear Carl, guess you didn't think I'd make it. Dear Carl, or do you wanna help celebrate it? Dear Carl, guess you didn't think I'd make it. Dear Carol, or do you wanna help celebrate it? I choose to persevere when another would quit. You try to discourage me to the limit. I was stalling away at this bit by bit, cause I knew one day I'd be making a hit. Dear Carol, guess you didn't think I'd make it. Dear Carol, or do you wanna help celebrate it? Dear Carol, guess you didn't think I'd make it. Dear Carol, or do you wanna help celebrate it?
Hi, I'm that sailing guy, host of the Indie Wave podcast. Each week we meet and learn about some of the most talented artists from the indie music scene today, and you can hear all their great work streaming on Glacier FM and Glacier Underground 24/7. Just head over to the planet's #1 internet radio station, glacierfm.com, for a live stream of all the great hits we feature each week. And tune in on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. for the latest edition of the Indie Wave podcast, only at glacierfm.com.
The first spiritual singer we welcomed on this show was Peyton Goldston a few weeks ago. And this week we have Mr. Alfred Lloyd with an inspirational tune celebrating his faith. Music has long been a part of faith, I think. Let's throw it back to the days of Handel and Bach, who wrote the massive celebrational works like The Messiah and Bach's Soli Deo Gloria. Both of those men fueled their work as much by faith as they did talent. And indeed, I imagine had they not written to the glory of God, they may have been excommunicated. Fast forward to the great Johnny Cash, who tried his hand at songs of worship before settling on his signature rockabilly Man in Black aura. He may have referenced booze and cocaine in his songs, but I don't think anyone would begrudge his faith when it came to his music. Now let us move on to the 21st century, where indie artists of all stripes are making inroads to new listeners and new fans. The idea that God is great in music is made all that more enjoyable by the fact that it's got a great beat and it makes you want to dance. That's what's so cool about the indie music movement. It's that artists like Alfred Lloyd can rocket up the charts with a song of praise like Jah Jah Jehovah, and we all love it. I dare say we are embarking on a new renaissance of music, where artists like Bach, Handel, and even Alfred Lloyd can get famous and make great music, all while praising the man upstairs. God bless the indie wave and all who find favor while writing. And that's the takeaway for this week. Don't you think our visits are just not long enough? Big thanks to Alfred Lloyd for playing along and to Glacier FM for making it possible. Big thanks to you for tuning in, and make sure you tune in during the next few weeks because we have several interviews coming up with artists who are doing amazing things in the indie music movement. You can download this podcast everywhere you get great podcasts and on Glacier FM and Glacier Underground. Subscribe on YouTube and share it on your social media pages because each and every artist we feature here deserves it. Until next time, remember, do good, have fun, and sail far, because I'm that sailing guy, and I wish you a great week ahead. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.